I'm Edvina from the Turkish Red Crescent. I'm Senior Officer for Humanitarian Policy and Advocacy. I've worked with the Turkish Red Crescent for about 4 years in different departments with different responsibilities. The summit was really inspiring. I loved hearing about all these different projects, different initiatives that have been going on in different national societies. It was nice to hear about the success stories, which I think will definitely influence the way we work. But then what I also liked was the way people were realistic. So we didn't only talk about positive things, but they also touched upon problems, you see, because the first step towards solving problems is obviously awareness. The session about data privacy and then personalizing data. So while it's on the one hand empowering and it's all about dignity, on the other hand it carries some risks that I hadn't really thought about previously. So it's all about what you bring into it, and then if you bring into it the aspects that are already causing inequality even though they shouldn't, such as gender, race, etc., then that obviously is something that we need to consider in the future. Just trying to improve in everything that AI cannot replace. So that would be emotional intelligence, creativity, openness to learning and improving all the time, continuous, improvements of performance. But then again, I think there are also, things that we need to think about, such as security risks, data protection, privacy, ethical considerations related to all these innovative trends. So my answer would definitely change over time because we cannot clearly see which direction it's already going to, but then this would be it. Like you said, something that may be new in one national society is something that's already being practiced for a very long time in a different national society. But I think we would have to focus on needs, see what each country, region needs, and then maybe work towards closing those gaps, like you said. So then I guess also learning and knowledge management. It's amazing to see how we can all share things here and how that contributes to capacity building. So just strategical planning in terms of learning, I would say. So instead of just training and retraining people all the time, we could just set it up all in a more structured way. Definitely, it's one of our priorities in line with the Grand Bargain. So sometimes the local responders are the first and the only responders. We've had this recent example of the earthquake in Turkey in February this year. And the need to, increase capacity locally is evident. So that's not only because that's how the emergency response works with the local actors, but it's also because they know the context the best. They know the needs of those people, of the beneficiaries, and they're the most recognized there, and they make people feel comfortable while receiving the aid. And they can help towards, providing aid in a dignified way. So we had a session on Monday about preparedness and shock responsiveness in our national society. So the Turkish Red Crescent is a society that meets the needs of 80 million people because of the size of the country, and not just the country but also the region. And that's why we've had the opportunity of gaining expertise in many different areas. So we touched upon them, but then we decided to focus on the cross-sectoral, joint aspects of it. And there are lots of tools that we have designed ourselves that have helped us do everything faster with less manual work, because automation also reduces some of the risks of related to data. So we basically talked about the tools that we can use, not just in terms of disasters, but whenever any sort of shock happens. So that could have been, remember, the pandemic, COVID, and then, like I said, disasters or economic crisis, many different types of vulnerabilities. So there's lots about data collection, and then data analysis, lots of interpretation, because that's what really matters. So we're focusing on producing reports and outputs that can strengthen the decision-making process.